All right, so man, we got Chopper. If y'all don't know who Chopper is one of the guys that was on the show that Diddy used to have a while back, a couple of years ago. It's called Making the Band. He was one of the members of Making the Band. So now it says that he was in the courtroom. Well, he said that he was in the courtroom and he saw Cassie in the courtroom. She gave him a little smirk, like, I can't believe Chop is here. He saw Diddy's kids in the courtroom. He called them some bitchs. And then he saw Diddy himself. He said he saw the mom, Miss Janice Combs, in the courtroom. And he saw Diddy. And he said that Diddy still had this aurora about himself that maybe he is keeping himself up and holding his head up while he's going through this process, the trial and everything. He didn't say he was in great spirits, but he said that he was in some decent spirits. So Chop said he was in the courtroom, and we're gonna see what he got to say about the experience.
God, Chopper, happy to have you back, my man. You already know what we gotta talk about, man.
Yeah,
Week 1 and week 2 of this trial, man.
one and
And
two.
if I'm not mistaken, you was at the trial, right? You seen Diddy, right?
I was at the trial. I went to the trial for solidification, really. You dig? I'm still under contract with I didn't understand this here until after I did all the dialogue. I didn't want to say that. You heard me on a recent interviews I've done, but I had to go find out myself that I'm still under contract with the Bad Boy deal. He signed off the whole way, but he never signed off the last three slips, which means I'm still under Bad Boy until he finally signed the last three slips. So my lawyer, which is Jeff Gandel,
Man, that's crazy. This man is facing a long time in jail, but you still signed to his label? That's crazy. That should let you off the top. Just let you go. You know what I'm saying? He should have signed it. Diddy probably say, I ain't signing nothing. That's just how he is, though.
told me basically, um, until something happens on this trial, you're kind of still stuck with them until Diddy sign off. But by law, you heard me, he has to sign the papers. So I went up there myself. I wanted him to see me. You did, courtesy of the Justin situation and Janice Combs owning my publishing and all this shit. I wanted to go up there. I wanted them people to see my face. So I went up there.
To
When I
be quite honest, I don't know what song you had. I can't remember. Did you ever make a song? I'm gonna have to look at this, guys. I can't remember if Chopper ever had a song or not. So what publisher do Janice own?
went up there, I was
I don't know.
anxious. I'm not
Maybe
even
it's
gonna
me.
much
I don't
lie
know.
to
Maybe
you
I'm the slow one.
because it was a bittersweet situation, bruh. Bittersweet because bitter because of the things that transpired with me and the Bad Boy situation with Diddy and how it went down. That wasn't right on my end, as well as it wasn't right on his end. I'm not going to be biased and just straight blame him for all the things that transpired, but I 100% can say that he's responsible for a lot of things that I wasn't able to do with my career moving forward. So when I went to the courtroom, it was packed. I'm not even gonna lie to you, brother. It was packed. It was pandemonium. People were happy to see me. I ain't gonna lie, I was low key though. I was low key, but I took my hoodie off. I went in there, because it's a public, whatever you dig. Anybody can practically go in there, kind of. So I went in there, and people knew my face. And the first person I seen was Cassie. I seen Cassie. She gave me a little smirk on her face. I knew what the smirk was. If the smirk was like, "Wow, chops here," right? And she was kind of happy to see me. Then I look over to my left and I see the whole Combs family. I seen Janice. His children was there. The twin girls was there. His other daughter was there. The all the little cornballs, his little sons was there.
Huh?
You dig? And they gave me the most meanest mug
Bro, he called his son some cornballs. He must have got something against them guys.
in the world, right? And Diddy come out, right? And Diddy looked like he about a good 99 years old, but he still had a great characteristical attitude with himself. Meaning, I can tell you heard me that he's keeping his head up in there, even though it's so hard for him. I can tell that it's hard for him by me going through that sex trafficking situation a couple years ago. but I can also tell that he's keeping his head up. Maybe not for the situation, bruh, but most definitely for his family. He stands strong for his family. And he looked at me. And when he looked at me like, you bitch ass nigga. And I looked at him like, you was a bitch ass nigga too, right? And I stayed there and I watched the whole thing transpire. But basically what they was doing in there was jury selection. But yeah, I definitely was there, and it was definitely a eerie feeling, like I didn't belong there. That was the look they had on the Combs family had on their face. But I definitely belonged there. Chopper City go everywhere. I'm me, believe that. And I was proud of myself that I was there. And I don't know. That's what happened. I just went up there, seen it. Did he look at me like F me? His family looked like F me, and I looked like love you bitches too. At the end, that's
Wow.
how it went. Yeah.
You better be careful, Chop. Now, Diddy still got some power outside them gates. Better mind what you say, buddy.
Yeah, I was there. Oh yeah, and also I forgot to say this here. When Diddy looked at me, he looked at me like you bitch ass nigga. Obviously for what I spoke my truth. You heard me on all the dialogue, but he actually looked at me in disappointment. You heard me? He looked at me like I have no right to be up there. He looked at me like he was like, I don't know. It was eerie. It was like, how could you do this to me? But deep down, I looked at him like, how could you do this to me? You
Word.
understand? Like the life that
Facts.
I had to live from you doing bad business with me, and I done everything right. You heard me with the bad boy situation, the songs that you stole from me, from the Khalees, milk,
And
not
not to mention about the cheesecake, bro. This nigga Chop had to walk miles and miles and miles to go get some damn cheesecake for Diddy. Then he walked back with the cheesecake. Excuse me. Then he said, Diddy told him, I don't want that shit. Take that upstairs to Beyonce.
milkshake B,
Facts.
but I'm bossy B. To all that that I've done behind the scenes and on the scenes that you took from me and give me nothing. You gave me nothing. You left me to be down here in New Orleans, Louisiana, especially during Katrina, when I had to give my savings to my family. I gave, I to be honest with you, from the Bad Boy South situation, I signed a $500,000 deal. Uncle Sam took practically 190 of that, left me with practically at least 300 and some thousand. Um, when Diddy said me because I wasn't trying to be on the road with him or be on the road at all to promote my album, courtesy of Katrina, because no one from outside of New Orleans understood the detrimental situation that has occurred to us. I didn't even understand it. You dig? I'm not used to a category 5 hurricane. When hurricanes come here, it be category 3, 2, like that there. It's that you can manage. You understand? I didn't understand the detrimental situation that was going to occur. And he didn't either. So I can understand why he probably was like, get back on the road. You dig? But I couldn't get back on the road. So I gave most of all my money to my family after I asked this man, say, bruh, you owe me another 500,000. I signed $1 million deal. Give me the other 500,000 or at least a portion of that so I can make sure my people straight to get out of the city and I can be straight to be able to get back on the road. And it's only going to take me maybe a week or two. And he told me no. So at the end of the day, fuck him, period. So the disappointment was also
Wow.
my disappointment. You heard me? So if it's me, it's
Wow.
you. Believe that. And that's, you heard.
But if you sign that contract for $1 million, then that means you are entitled. That's why you signed the contract. So, bro, he still owe you that 500,000. Whether you get it or not, maybe you gotta take him to court properly. But at the same token, if you sign a contract and it says for $1 million, that's what it is. That's why it's called a contract.
Me, that's kind of what that was. So I was happy to be there. Fuck 'em,
Wow.
period. With a
He
smile.
said that with a smile. I'm about
You
to
see,
say
I done
that.
took out my slugs. I done took out my diamonds now, huh? I done cleaned it up, mighty baby. I done put the veneers in, baby. That's this the you face. You heard me? Yeah, yeah. That dude. Proceed though.
Yeah, I peeped that. I
Hey,
see you, man. You got the new grill, the new mouthpiece. I peeped that. But I do want to ask you about Diddy appearance. Like, how did he look appearance wise?
Uh, Diddy looked at old. He looked at like his actual age. You dig? How is a 50, close to 60 something year old man supposed to look? He looked at like a he looked at like a young elderly man. He looked at like a elderly man that was hip, if that makes sense. He looked like a cool grandpa. You hear me?
Dang, not the cool
But like I
grandpa.
say, he didn't look distraught. He didn't look stressed or depressed. And I can tell why. Because, when I was in that situation, brother, I couldn't look like that when it was happening to me because my people was there. You dig? So I had to keep my head up and my chin up, you hear me, because of my family. So I can tell that he was still stressed, but yet and still his chin was up, and he looked at pretty cool though. He looked at like if Diddy wasn't rich, he still kept himself up. He had a nice cut. You heard me. I could tell that. You heard me back there. He's well taken care of. So he didn't look like down bad. He looked at like a elderly hip man. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. He looked at his age.
For right
If he
now.
wasn't rich. So that's the best answer I could give with that.
Whenever they sentence him to that time, he ain't gonna be looking like no elderly hip man. When them boys get hold to him, he gonna be looking elderly, right?
He looked at his age. Gray hair, gray beard, gray. He just was grayed out. But he looked at like a young, handsome, older, elderly man, period, who had a lot of weight on his shoulder. That's what he looked at like.
I see, I see. So when you was in court, how uncomfortable was you when you seen Diddy family? Because I mean, you have been talking a little greasy about him. So
No, I wasn't uncomfortable because at the end of the day, I have to, things that I get worried about, I face. I'm a fearless person. And if I don't face those things, I regret them later. So at first, I was kind of uncomfortable, but then I said to myself, you didn't come all the way up here to be uncomfortable, bruh. You came up here to face the music because I'm not a coward. I can't just get on platforms and speak on anybody without seeing them in their face. So I kind of wanted to face that. Maybe it's the Baron Street in me. Maybe it's the Uptown Third Wall in me. But at the end of the day, we face our fears. So I felt really good facing something that was a little weary to me because a lot of people can get on these platforms and speak on people or even speak down on people. That's why I try my best to be my best when I speak on someone. I can just speak my truth. I try not to be biased. I try to be a 100% solid person towards when I'm facing something. My chin can stay up and I'm not a coward about it. You heard me? That makes sense? If I could speak your name on any platform, I should be able to face you as well. So that's just the real uptown to me. I'm gonna face whatever I speak on. Period. I don't do no coward moves. So I felt great about it, honestly. I didn't feel weary or afraid of. I'm not afraid of nothing in life. I was really proud of myself for just facing it because I felt like I was doing the right thing. And that's the clarification that it gave me. It gave me the clarification and the validation to thyself to know that me speaking my truth is the right thing that I'm doing. You heard me? Yeah.
and this was jury selection, right?
Yeah, it was like jury selection type vibes. It was really a bunch of nothing, honestly. They was just selecting a bunch of people and cutting people off like that. It was a bunch of nothing, honestly. It wasn't what's happening right now. I wish I should have, you heard me? I should have went today, but it wasn't that. But I wanted to go. And it was eating me up not to go. So I had to go. So I went.
So basically, you just have wanting to let Diddy see you come in there. So they didn't subpoena you or nothing to call you to come up there and testify. You just simply solely want Diddy to see your face. And you wanted to see him, you wanted to see him see you. Just to get that reaction from him. Excuse me. Just to get that reaction from him. And you got it from the mama, the kids, and Diddy. So you got what you want. And it's gonna get worse. If you want him to, trust me, stay tuned, Chop. It's gonna get worse for Diddy. If you want to see the man go down, you about to see it. You are about to see it.